Good evening, guys. Let's talk about Adrianna Younge this evening in the Younge family. I said let me come on and do a little live for you guys. So I'm going to wait until some of you are in the room with me. Good evening, good evening now. It's important we have a little discussion. The Guyana Police Force just about 15 minutes ago released what it claims to be the final findings from the 3 internationally renowned pathologists. So I said let me come and have a little discussion with you guys about that. I'm gonna wait until hey Haley, how you guys doing? Let me see, comments not coming in. I'm telling from the faces. Good night, Jillian. Hey, how you doing? So we're gonna discuss. If you looked at the description, I'm gonna be talking about funding. I'm gonna be setting some things straight on the record where the GoFundMe is concerned. Say what? Yeah, what's up, Eunice? How you doing? Hey, Tanya, Fuchsia. What an interesting name. I love that name, Fuchsia. Sounds like a flower. Onessa, Jackie, Chanel. All right, how you guys doing? Good evening, good evening. Thanks for joining me. So yeah, we're gonna have a little conversation. Good evening, Denise. Good evening, Neil. How are you guys? Good evening. Thanks for joining me on this live. I was thinking I'm gonna play a little music for you guys, but I might do that later, right? We have some important. Okay, great. We got some people in Haley's live. Good evening to all Haley's followers. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. There are important developments that we should discuss this evening. So the Guyana Police Force, I'm gonna try to say this with a straight face, okay? Because it's wild. I'm gonna try to say this with a straight face. Good evening, good evening, good evening. See, some of you guys are still joining me here, right? I'm gonna try to say this with a straight face. The Guyana Police Force, about 15-20 minutes ago now, released a statement which claims to be the results of the autopsy. Not signed off. I don't see any signatures of the pathologists. We haven't seen any official documents to this point, but reading it, you wonder if we exist in a parallel dimension or an alternate reality in the Spideyverse, right? It just to go over what I just pulling from memory here, and you guys that have access, you can put stuff in the comments, little takeaway points. But among other things, it said her ethanol levels were consistent with decomposition. Was that the only chemical that they tested for in the toxicology? You just tested for ethanol, okay? There were no signs of restraint, any force, any sign that she was removed and brought back to the pool. So the visible injuries that we all saw to her kneecaps, to her arms, which were bleached, to her face, which was bleached. And I'll tell you guys something. I didn't bring this up before, but I have seen, this is why I've been on this thing, and I told you it's affected me deeply. So after we found that the doctor that participated in that first autopsy, Dr. Caleb, had lied to us, right? After we found out he was dishonest, and I told you about the conversation I had with him where I got him confirmed that instead of froth, which he told us was up her nose, they were actually cotton balls, and that vital evidence had been removed from her body before the visiting eminent, prestigious, internationally renowned pathologist could get here, right? So, and he also said, like the state propagated, and even the lawyer, which I told you I forgive because he's not a doctor, he's a lawyer, but the medical professional on board, they came and told us that she was in an advanced state of decomposition. So at the time where the family, all these swirling questions, the family decided, because they were not happy with that autopsy, and they were given a doctor, the person that they wanted to choose for the autopsy was not the person that they got. They wanted Dr. Daisley from Trinidad to come in originally. And I'll remind you, in 2015, that same doctor came here, the same guy they're trying to deny access to the body, right? It doesn't matter now because they've sent her to the US. But that same guy came here and found in one instance that a man whose wife had presumably died from having her head crushed by his truck, and he was released on $10,000 bail, all right, about $50 US bail. Dr. Daisley came and found that in fact she was strangled, and then she was thrown from the truck, and her head was therefore crushed with the truck. So they tried to mask a murder. Okay, Dr. Daisley found that out. But suddenly when he was trying to come for Adrianna Younge's autopsy, there was a problem. They gave them another doctor. So that's the person, or those are the three people that they said are these eminent pathologists. So if you've done a good job, why would you worry about someone coming to double check your job and confirm, yes, you did a good job? It's taken ages, and we've not seen any official report from these eminent pathologists. We've just been teased with these snippets from the Guyana Police Force. The family asked for the FBI, Scotland Yard, international independent investigative agencies to help to come here. The US ambassador told us no official request was ever made for the FBI's involvement, and we can only presume no similar request was ever made to the British to have the involvement of Scotland Yard. We've had people all around the world willing to help. Who did they bring? A retiree from Canada. No offense, Canada, we love you. I love maple syrup. But that was not the guy the family wanted to come. Okay? So at every stage, and then we've been gaslit because we all know she was not in the pool. I don't know if after the press release from the Guyana Police Force following today, whether they're going to come and tell us that it's public mischief because they've been charging people for terrorism and just throwing Adrianna Younge supporters in prison, right? So I don't know if by tomorrow there will be an arrest warrant for me, in addition to the death threats I've had, to say Francis Bailey is creating public mischief, to say that she was not in the pool. She was not in the pool. This is not Magic Waldo, okay? This is not Darren Brown. This is not David Blaine. But it feels like we're participants in a magic trick, where people are trying to convince us, after you sent Guyanese Critic to the pool, in addition to the pool having been searched before, to confirm for us visually on a live that he then deleted, that she was not in the pool. All of the drone footage that shows she was not in the pool. And now in the Guyana Police Force report, it's telling us these pathologists that haven't ever spoken for themselves say she likely sunk to the bottom of the pool, and due to natural processes of decomposition in a tropical environment, floated back up magically in just 24 hours. Neglecting the fact that just a few weeks after Adrianna's death, a man drowned in Linden. That was broadcast all over the news. We saw what a real drowning looked like because the man sunk to the bottom of the pool. Their CCTV was working. Okay? So there are a lot of swirling questions. And additionally, we've seen a dedicated group of people within the government, supporters, party supporters, have posted albums of their comments, right? Who have come with the most disrespectful, callous, and mean things to say to Adrianna Younge's family, right? The top of that list is that the family are trying to profit from the death of their little child. So I want to tell you this. There are many yeses and there are many nos that we can debate. So give you an example. Should the family be happy with the first autopsy because there were 3 doctors that were brought in? I don't know about internationally renowned. I keep telling you guys, go do a background check on those people, right? So they tell us they were internationally renowned. Should the family be okay with that? Some people say yes, some people say no. Should the family be allowed a second autopsy, to have a second or third or fourth opinion as they like? Some people say yes, some people say no. Was there any involvement of the police? Some people say yes, some people say no. Let me tell you what 99% of people are going to say no to. Are you her parents? No. No. So you don't have a right. And I keep repeating, I've said it in live after live. You do not have a right. Those of you seeking to dictate to Adrianna Younge's family exactly what they should do with her body, whether or not they should be at peace with the fact that the daughter that they know was not in the pool. And I want you to think for yourself, if your child went missing, if your kid went missing in a pool, and you telling someone you searched the pool, would you not thoroughly search the pool? They searched the pool and she was not in the pool, right? But the pathologist concluding is to tell me someone with a qualification can trump what we saw with our own eyes, as if they're the only pathologists in the world. Up to now, we have not heard directly from these people. We've not had a press conference with them. Their findings are only being released through the very same people that stood there and prevented Adrianna's parents from accessing Doubleday Hotel, where she was being kept. Okay, I don't know if this is going to be public mischief, but I'm fed up of being gaslit. So I came to you today to tell you a few things. You will see from the description I've included information about Adrianna's GoFundMe account. I think everything has been sorted out right now, so I've come to give you some updates and let you know that you can proceed with making donations to the family. They are in need of the donations. They raised about $43,000, I believe, on their GoFundMe account. Just the process of embalming the body and getting it up to the US cost in excess of about $15,000 US. There was the wake to organize, there the travel fees, they have legal fees, they have a number of fees, and they still need assistance with getting this second autopsy finished. I think it's utterly reprehensible, and I've not found any parallel in our history, right, where a family, someone like that woman I told you about, where Dr. Daisley came and concluded that the conclusions of the chief pathologist, Dr. Nihal Singh, were incorrect, where he ruled that this was accidental death. And Dr. Daisley actually found it was death by strangulation. And this murder, this homicide, was covered up. There was no article in the newspaper at that point trying to discredit the man. I'll have you know that he has indicated that he is taking the government to court, right? He's taking some of these news agencies to court for defamation. There has never in his 15 years of coming to Guyana been any challenge to him coming, right? Never, until he tried to come and get a second opinion on Adrianna Younge. Why is the government expending so much resource? Venezuela is knocking at our door. We had a Venezuelan and Brazilian national planting a bomb at the police station on the eve of Venezuela holding elections for governors of 3/4 of our land. Go fight those people. Why are you fighting citizens? Citizens that are crying for justice. The very justice that you were elected to deliver. The laws that you were elected to uphold. It's mind-blowing. It's literally eye-watering levels of corruption, but our eyes are dry now. We have cried enough, and we want justice for Adrianna Younge. So I've never seen such an effort of callous, mean-hearted people sitting on the internet trying to dictate to a grieving family whose daughter was murdered. You telling us there were no injuries? You saw no injuries? There were injuries all over that girl's body. Next thing, tomorrow there's going to be a press release from the Guyana Police Force. They're going to say, we would like the people of Guyana to know that as of this morning, the grass is blue, and the grass has been blue all along, and the sky is yellow, and it's been yellow for many years, and it will be public mischief for anyone to be writing about a blue sky from next Monday, and anyone talking about any grass other than blue grass. Come on, man. It's so barefaced. And it's almost as if you expect the public to forget it, right? That's wild. So there's been an effort, and I spoke about it a few videos ago, there's been an effort by supporters of this administration, for whatever reason, to come in the comments and make it seem as if Sir Brian and his family, Adrianna's parents, are profiting from the body of their dead child. People have come forward to say that they should store the body at home so they can keep making money off of it. People have come forward to say that, oh, he's going to buy more buses now. They're rich. They're rich. They're so wealthy. You're going to have another house. And I want to ask you guys, because no one ever comes forward to give me the answer. What is the value of a child's life? When do you look at the GoFundMe and start counting these people's pennies? When I asked you before, you've never sat a moment to count their tears. You've never asked how many tears they have shed for their daughter. Why are you guys sitting, making efforts every day, every night to interrupt the flow of funding to this family that are in need of it? Right? So, I need to be direct about a few things, right? You guys know me, I like to speak my truth. I don't care who vexed, I can talk, right? So, recently, if any of you know who the people in the Atlanta support group are, you know, something like that, somewhere in that area. And I'm not calling any of you guys out to put you on the spot here. This is an appeal, really, right? So, and an explanation. So, the family, so we all know by now that Adrianna's body has been transported to the US, where they want a second opinion. It's funny that before they're able to secure that second opinion and the work has been done, every possible thing has been done to try and put this issue to bed at home. So no doubt tomorrow people are going to be running out with the police statement that everything was fine. She drowned in the pool, sank to the bottom, rose up by magical science that only exists in Guyana in a vertical position, and the injuries on her hand, they weren't injuries. You didn't see that. The cotton wool in her nose, it was froth. You didn't see any cotton wool in her nose, you know. And in Harry Potter-like fashion, she was just in the pool 1 minute, not in the pool, she was in the pool. Right? Gaslighting us. Gaslighting us. Right? We know what we saw. And that's the funny thing. Whether or not this police force and the government decide they're going to commit themselves to an honest, open, independent investigation, the people know what we saw. There has never been a crime like this that had so many eyes on it, so much footage that existed. So many of us were unable to sleep. You guys forget that. So many of us were unable to sleep. So I want you guys to keep Adrianna's parents in your thoughts. Consider why people would go to such great lengths to try and discredit a second opinion that hasn't even been delivered. Why? If they believe good work was done, almost as if they expect another conclusion will be found. So everything is being done in the present moment to turn us away from it, turn us away from the family, make sure they don't get the funding. It has been a struggle every single step of the way. From the moment their daughter went missing, they did not get the assistance of the hotel. The police didn't assist them. The police told them their daughter was abducted. They were barred from entering the hotel. The next day, they were lying. The mother was forced to lie prostrate on the ground, grieving her child. The commander was still there trying to show her photos that were not her child, but insisting. The president and officials were trying to call these people, getting them to leave the scene. They grieved, and then for her dad to jump in a pool to pull out the body of his dead daughter. They have not had it easy. The main suspect that was arrested, released. The police that were arrested, released. We don't even know their names. They were just Mr. Corporal, Mr. Sergeant, a civilian that was working in the CCTV room that provided incorrect footage or incorrect intelligence That's not intelligence. And it was not one lie that the police told this family. It was a series of lies. You don't get off so easy. No one charged. Insurance will build that building back. And who will be there to replace Adrianna Younge's life? And you guys are online saying that the family have made too much money. I told you a few days ago that money will evaporate, right? And it's already running down. So we don't want to be in a position where they don't have the funds to continue this process and see it through to its conclusion. I'm not here to speak to the trolls. I'll have you know that. After I'm finished here, I'm going to go through my comments as I always do. Troll hunting. I'll find you trolls and I'll block and delete you. Right? If you were here to be like, she was in the pool, you see, with the police. Block, delete. Right? I'm sorry. I'm going to sanitize the stream. Okay? So those of us that know what happened, we can converse. If you're here to cast aspersion on our parents and be mean and nasty to these people who have had the unimaginable happen to them, because no one has that in their mind when they send their daughter out to have a good day. Right? If you're here to be mean and cuss and abuse those people, wrong stream. I'm sorry. I'm here to speak to the people that believe this girl needs justice and that have the means to make some sort of donation to the family. Everything in that stream that I have in the description there, that's all passed through the legal team, the family. I'm not operating off of my own here. I'm consulting with the group, right? With the team. I am also not taking any money. I don't need any money. That's again, a lot of you coming in, oh, Francis being paid. You're being paid. When that lady, like last year, there's a woman that was injured in a gas bottle explosion by Massey. Had 2nd and 3rd degree burns. And I spent weeks on that issue. I kept coming back. I sensitized the public about the problems with Massey gas. The government never acted. Right? And I highlighted other victims. But I stayed on her case for a long time because I wanted that family to get compensation. Nobody came out to tell me, oh, Francis, you're taking payment from the family. And I've done it in a number of instances. That's what will draw me out. Injustice will draw me out of my cave, where I keep my bees, right? It will draw me out. I smell it and I see it and I hear it. It calls, it tugs at my heart. I cannot stay silent. It's on principle that I'm staying on this issue. On principle. I don't want a single blind cent. Not $1 I don't want. You understand? And no one has offered me money, and should anyone offer me money, I will refuse it. I will say, give it to Adrianna's parents. I don't want money. And it says a lot to me about those of you that come to say, oh, you're only talking about this thing for money. You are telling me a lot about yourself. You're telling me your own humanity is only unlocked with a few dollars. That's shameful. You can do better as a person. I'm here to tell you that. You can do better. When I come in and tell you to be empathetic, to be caring, to try to be understanding of others, that's what I'm talking about. Not everything is attached to $1. Right? These people lost their child in a very gruesome way. And we're being gaslit and told what we saw is not what we saw. That for speaking out against it, we are terrorists and creators of public mischief. That whistleblowers are terrorists and inciting terrorism and being thrown in jail. Right? In the wake of this incident, we had private security firm working alongside the police, shooting at civilians in the street. Right? It's wild. It's wild. Why go into such great lengths to protect the people that did this? Why? Because election season is here. And certain things are valued more than a life, than the life of a child. But not to me, and not to many of us. So I'm urging you guys to use, I think right now, the most immediate need is they need to raise a little extra for the second autopsy to go ahead. I've seen a breakdown of how these funds were spent. That's one of the first things I asked for. I'm satisfied with what I've seen. I don't need to come to you and give account for every single penny that this family have spent. I saw enough and have a good enough understanding of the costs that will be involved. That's why I was able to tell you the 43,000 would vanish. They will need extra funding to get over the mark. If you care about this family, if you care about this case, you care about what's going on with the Adrianna Younge investigation, I'm urging you to donate to the family. I'm telling you, right? I will do so myself, and I know many people that have. There's a Zelle link that I've put down there. If you're in the position to donate through Zelle, I know there are a few people that are that I've reached out to before this live that have been posting consistently about Adrianna Younge, and I asked a few of them to come into the live and post the Zelle link for me in the comments. So if any of you could do that, I would really be appreciative, right? It's in the description, and her family still needs support. The process is not over, okay? They had such a little confidence in the government and the police force, they had to fly their daughter's body overseas. Even their basic wish to have people coming and help with an independent investigation was denied. Right? So that's what I want to ask you. How much must one family suffer? How much must a family suffer? When will they get the time to grieve and to release themselves of this? They will only have that when they have an understanding of what happened. And nobody, apart from the police force, I mean, you say people that said she was abducted in a bread and black room, abducted by a guy named Orlando, that arrested a guy at the bridge, charged him. They were taking him in for first a hit and run and then abduction, right? And then her body was found. They still kept this guy, even though they knew she was not abducted, never moved from the hotel. And the same Guyana police force that told us that barred her parents from entry. And when I was there, guarded that door, I saw them with my own eyes. I was there. I was there. Right? The same force is now issuing a statement telling us what the pathologist said. The same government that turned cotton wool into froth. Right? What Harry Potter spell is that? Frothius magicus? What's that? Cottonus apatus? What is that? That's wild. That's wild, bro. My gosh. So that's where we are. Adrianna's parents still need your support. Yes, I see there with the Henry boys. That's another tragedy, another stain on the nation. Similar events, the 2 young children murdered, right? And then the family being gaslit. And is this the country we want to live in? Is this what we're tolerating? Mind you, let me just insert my caveat and disclaimer here, because tomorrow I can already see Francis on the internet inciting terrorism and violence. Nope, not I, right? Not I. I'm not here to incite violence and terror on the streets. I'm here to incite critical thought. I'm here to incite your humanity. I'm here to incite empathy, right? I'm here to incite you to step into the shoes of Adrianna Younge's parents and contemplate what's going on. So I started earlier by telling you they've gone up to the US and they've been invited. My understanding is I saw a post made by Rickford Burke where they were invited to participate in this, like Adrianna will be honored by some members of Congress. Rickford has a march. Now, Mr. Burke is a very intelligent man. I like his content, and I will confess that I know he is a polarizing figure. He's a political person to some people. He's a polarizing figure. I'm just speaking the facts down here, right? So, Adrianna's family were invited to participate in this. Now, here's the issue. there's one half of the camp that really didn't want the family to attend this rally because they're fearful, especially in the way that the government have cast Whitford Burke locally as like an enemy of the state. They're fearful that the association being at Mr. Burke's rally will draw support away from their cause and make it look like it's a whole political thing. There's the other camp that believe that any voice that can be raised in support of justice for Adrianna Younge, any platform that can be utilized to project the injustice that this family have been and are experiencing currently, is a good thing. Okay? And there is division between these camps, and it's played out in different ways. I'm personally of the opinion that I think I'm in camp B. I think any platform or publicity that can bring this to the attention of the public and keep it in the public eye is good. I also acknowledge and understand other person's anxieties that perhaps it could be interpreted as a political movement or something, or political interference. But guys, I want to ground us. I want to really bring us right back to center. This is a child we're talking about. I want to remind you that Adrianna never had a political party. She was not a party member. She was neither backbencher nor front bencher or any bencher. She was a school kid bencher. She was in school. She was not a political figure. She did not know the leader of the opposition, nor did she consult with the government on her schoolwork. She relied on her parents and the people that were around her. Okay, she's not a political operative. She was not up for election. She's never been on a local government bill. You understand? So at the end of the day, she is not, it's not a political cause. If people in politics, if politicians take up the cause, well, it's open to politicians across the board. No one has said that politicians in the same government that are trying desperately to shift the narrative on this can't take up the call. Bar Jagdeo could very easily sit down in his press conferences where he tries to defame Dexter Todd and insult him by saying he's a mediocre lawyer. And Jagdeo could sit there and say, justice for Adrianna Younge. We're going to put our money where our mouth is. We're going to bring in the FBI and so on and so forth. He could very easily do that. Right? So, you know, let's consider that and be considerate. Right? Petition signed and donation sent. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Okay, now here's a classic comment down here by Jack Hamer. This I'm going to definitely screenshot that. Let me screenshot that first, because I take a catalog of you guys, you know, coming on here. As I said, I'm talking about the death of a young child, and some of you are so inhuman. You come in here to not just swear at me, but you're making like sexual jokes about Adrianna Younge. That's how debased and depraved supporters of this same government are when they're coming to try and cover up this case. Anything possible. Daniel Muhammad, shot your mother, so and so. Okay, and you, Jack. Right? So I want you guys to look through the comments and see that, yes, the government are very committed to sending their trolls to infiltrate the comments. No matter how many I block, they always have a dozen more to send at every live to either insult the memory of Adrianna Younge. Grown people that are sitting, because I know they're grown people, apart from the troll farms that they have, they're grown people making a conscious decision to sit online and make sexual jokes about a young girl that was murdered. That's what some of you guys are doing. That's what the dictatorship have sent you to do. I don't know what contract or favors you're really working for, but we see you. We see you. Right? And guys, don't respond to those guys by cursing them out. You just tag me so I know to go block that person when I'm finished. Yeah, but that's the kind of stuff they do. That's the kind of stuff Guyana Daily News and Amir Ahmad, that's the kind of stuff those people involve themselves in. Sitting online, Robin Singh and these people, they sit online and create their fake profiles and they use it to spread you know, the narrative that the state would like them to spread, right? Plausible deniability. Oh, we don't know about those people, right? But they're ignored. So, yep, I'm encouraging you guys, please uh, make your donations, support the family of Adrianna Younge in this struggle, and let us stay committed to their quest for justice. Let us continue to amplify their voices on our threads and in our conversations, and to keep them in our thoughts, and to remind ourselves that justice delayed is justice denied. Okay, and effectively they've been denied justice at home, so they've had to seek it abroad. And though everything has been done to try and switch the narrative, let us remain focused and stay with them until they complete this process. It's not a one-day thing, and there will be cycles. So right now it's the second autopsy that they have to finish fundraising for. If when it comes to the funeral, one of us may come back and do a live and inform you that, okay, well, there's whatever expense until she is buried and put to rest. I will come and be transparent and tell you about it. You guys have the option of responding, right? And you trolls, I mean, I'm here to talk about justice for Adrianna Younge. You can tell me whatever you want to tell me. It will not change that, and it will not change that for many other people. So, Kevin Lorimer spreading wrong info to the public about second autopsy. They need to stop this thing. Yeah, well, he is also working for the PPP, right? All these people have their fake pages that they're working in coordination. So at every instance, it seems like the state are doing their best to rewrite history, rewrite the present, and it's not escaped our attention. So again, maybe by next week it'll be public mischief to have this discussion, but let's get it out there. You guys ignore the attempts to get you to stop supporting Adrianna's family. They still need your support. I've given you the information. I don't want to stay here too long, and I'm going to be off now. I'm going to be coming back to block and delete all of you trolls that have joined me. For those of you that have typed justice for Adrianna Younge, for those of you that have made donations, for those of you that supported in the first round of funding, because I must say on behalf of her family, thank you, right? Those of you that donated in the first round were able to get her legal team changed to people that they trust. You were able to get her body moved from the funeral parlor where the government told us it was in an advanced state of decomposition. And that's how we found out they lied, right? You were able to get the body moved, embalmed, first of all. That fee was paid. You were able to get the body moved to the US and to organize a second autopsy and to pay for the family to travel up there and the wake. That's what you guys did. They've not received $1 from the government. They've not received $1 from the owners of Doubleday who were negligent. They didn't receive no insurance. They have no money. The public has carried this family, and they're deeply, I am also grateful for what I've seen you guys do, right? And that's why they want to cut it off. They want those people to struggle even to get help, right? That's what I'm seeing. So justice for Adrianna Younge. And if it was your child, you just think about how far you would be willing to go in pursuit of justice if in your soul you were not happy. A parent knows. A parent knows. And you would never know more than the parent. Because Adrianna came from them. She's connected to them. They know. They will know. And when they feel settled, we will feel settled. Those of us calling for justice. We can already see it looks like no one will ever be held accountable. Because now you're trying to tell us that she was in the pool all along, likely sank to the bottom and then floated up after a day. So it's a blameless crime. No one is to be held accountable. Yeah. Adrianna's soul is in hell. Jack Hamer, whoever you are behind that account, before I block you, I just want you to know you're a horrid human being. That's wild. Have a good evening, bro. Yeah, just blocked Jack. It's either they send a racist, they send somebody like that just lost touch with their own humanity. I wonder if there's some repository of these people in the PPP, just like a troll farm. You guys just unleash them. People have to do the most terrible things for the contracts that they get. You know, that's what happens when you put a bunch of incompetent people. Why do you think they send Critic to attack me? Right? All of them are indebted in some way to the administration. Either they just keep collecting advances for contracts they don't finish, things that are practically criminal, that any other government would lock them up for or cancel them. And they're dependent. There are a lot of people just dependent on the state for their daily bread. So they come out to attack justice, people calling for justice for Adrianna Younge, supporters of her cause. That's quite a common thing. So I'm seeing that happen a lot. So sign the petition, please, and do your best. Hey Daniel Mohammed. Normally I come on your page first and I take pictures, right, and then I screenshot you, because you guys are all helping me build my album to show the true face of this administration, how it treats children, and whether or not it really cares about the fate of our children. So I believe in having a society, a country that is safe for our young people, and we have to come to a point where we say enough is enough, where we say no more, where we say this will never happen again. A decisive moment in our history. I believe this is such a moment. And if we kept the momentum going, we can achieve some amount of satisfaction for our parents just finding out what really happened. Because hands up if you believe the Guyana Police Force. Right? That's not a law. I'm going to go double check. But there is no law that you have to believe what the Guyana Police Force write. There is no law. And especially since they just tell people you got abducted and they see this and... Nah, I don't believe that. So, I don't know if the government started locking up people for terrorism, for not believing what they tell you to believe. But, okay. So, you guys, please... join me again. I think I'm going to come back either tomorrow or the day after, do another live with you, let you know how the fundraising is going, let you know what's going on with the second autopsy. I know the family lawyer, Dexter Todd, is going to be coming back to you guys with updates. There's a lot of important things he'll have to discuss with you. But with regard to this rally or the march that's going to be going on, I'm told that there's some people in some Atlanta chapter of people trying to support Adrianna that they didn't like the fact that the family were going to attend this celebration or this march in honor of their daughter, and they've withdrawn some of their support or some of their offers of support. So I really want to appeal to some of you, and if you're one of the people looking at this that's on that team, I want to appeal to you. This is not about politics. Whether you have a problem with the person organizing the celebration or not, I want to acknowledge whatever differences there might have been in the past or even that exist in the present. I would urge you guys to look through and beyond that to the fact that we're talking about a child that did not have a political party, that only had a dream to live a full life and was not able to do that. It's a child we're talking about. Asking you to keep that at the front of your mind. Put your misgivings aside. If you see some opposition person or a government, whoever you see that advocates for this child, be grateful. Somebody else has spoken her name and kept it in the public eye. But don't judge Adrianna Younge based on who is trying to call for justice for her. Right? If a madman get up on the road, as we say, a crazy guy, and he starts with justice for Adrianna, and be grateful. He kept her name alive. He said it. Right? He might not be the most sane man. Right? And in this case, if it's somebody you consider political or you don't agree with their political views, Adrianna Younge was not a political science major. Give her a break. She's had no breaks A whole month has passed. No justice. 1 month wrap up a case and tell us that a girl that we know was not in the pool was in the pool. That injuries we saw were not injuries. That cotton wool was froth. Never seen gaslighting like this in my entire life. So, yeah, I see now Jack could really, I blocked him now, but I see he left a string of horrid comments. Samantha, you know, calling Jack a stink dog with your BT. I'm gonna delete your comment as well, my dear. We're not here to abuse each other. We're not here to abuse each other. I would never encourage that. Even when people write abusive things, we are not here to abuse each other. One of us has to always make a stand. We're going to stand on the side of peace, or on the side of justice, or on the side of love. It always calls for someone to be the bigger person and be responsible and do that. We're not here to, if you got a joke to crack or some clever clap back, by all means, go ahead with your clever clap back. But to abuse people in the same way they abuse you, I would never stand for that, guys. That's not the country I want us to build together, right? Those are patterns that have been reinforced for a very long time. So let us be considerate, hold this family in our thoughts, hold Adrianna in our thoughts, and ignore the trolls, right? Ignore the trolls. Child molester, stop bullying you. Oh, guys, come on. I'm seeing you guys getting riled, and that's what the trolls would like you to do, to get riled up, to start attacking each other and fighting each other. And you have 50 accounts, Jack. I will block all 50 of your accounts. I have one finger that will block all 50 of your accounts, and you could go create another 50. I will block the other 50. I'm dedicated just like you, Jack. I'm very dedicated. So, right? And right now I'm dedicated to calling for justice for Adrianna. You make 50 accounts, I will block 50. I'll block 51. Okay? So, and sometimes you guys that like leaving your troll Facebook comment on the fake page, and then you use another fake page to like it, I just block you, and the fake page will like the fake comment. Right? Y'all clearly like work. So go make another email address, make another account, find me again. Let's repeat the process. I'm very happy to do that. That's fine. Alright? Go pollute your own comment thread. And sometimes I leave it up just so you guys see the true nature of this administration. Right? When they say because we care for children, see what it really looks like in the comments. You can see that. Alright? So I pray to God that this Jack don't have kids or things such a. I mean, what was that? Is that like a weeding contract you're applying for there by coming to cuss me out like that? I don't know what you're talking about, sis. Some of you guys just like this tell you, hey, Francis Life, go on your life, go and start typing things just like you're heading good. You didn't even know what I'm talking about. You're joining the discussion, guys. I'm gonna go, right? I hope you gather something from this, that it is safe. It is safe. There are secure channels now that you can make donations to this family. Try to establish that they do need it. Try to give you a rundown in this live of how the money was spent and some indication of what they will need funding for in the future. I have reiterated and underlined the fact that I don't collect any money or any payment. I'm not being paid in any way or standing to benefit in any financial way from this process, and there's nobody working apart from the lawyers, the professional people that are involved that require payment, right? Anybody else working on this thing, it's for free. It's because this thing torment us. Because it's torment us, right? Because sometimes before I go to bed, there's a thought that's going to pop up in my mind. And I'm not alone, right? So, right, that's all I have to say for this evening. I love you guys as usual. Even my trolls, I want you guys to know I love you very much. And I'm really sorry for those of you whose job just happens to be sitting online writing evil stuff on other people's pages. That's a very sad life to live. I am sorry for you. I'm sorry for whatever circumstance you encountered that meant that had to be your life. I am deeply apologetic. That's how you earn your daily bread. Right? But I love you the same. I forgive you. Right? So, rest of you guys. Love you. Have a good evening. And I'll be back soon enough.